ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Neston Memorial Ground, home to the Neston branch of the Boy Scouts, local primary school gatherings, and a very reasonably priced private function venue, as well as being home to Kingan's Kippers Football Club. The Neston Country Inn has begun to empty out, and the stands here are beginning to fill up, like day-drunk grains of sand passing from one chamber of an hourglass of village life to another. This football club is as much a cornerstone of this community as the much-loved and renowned annual Neston Fete and the 5th of November fireworks display. I don't make it out to Neston very often now since the local dogging faction disbanded, but whenever I do, I'm always struck with the fanaticism among the villagers here. Even those in the community who don't much care for football will know the players and the manager and are still likely to stab you in the neck if you talk badly of the Kippers. The Kippers play host today to Up in Smoke FC, a classic case of a big city team from the smog of Corsham visiting a backwoods rural village team. And there's a lot at stake today. Joining me in the commentary box as always is Gavin Gooseberry. Hello, Gavin.
Hello, everybody. Safe, Dave? Yeah, there is indeed a lot at stake today. Both of these teams have had a rough start to the season, and as of last week, both teams were still yet to register a first league win. Up in Smoke got that monkey off their back in week 5 against Pasty United of all teams, but the village people are still looking for their first 3 points.
Yes, that's right, Gavin. 8th place hosting 7th place today. Let's take a look at the team sheets.
Thanks, Dave. Well, Up in Smoke make just one change to the team that defeated Pasty United last week. The big news is that the Smoke's goalkeeper, Jason Paradise, has forgotten his kit. You know you're a club legend, though, when you can run out onto the pitch in a pair of moth-eaten shorts, a musky t-shirt, woolen gloves, and a scabby pair of high-tech boots, and still receive rapturous applause from the away supporters. Shane Moulton has missed only one match for the Smoke this season, and that was due to suspension. He seems to have cemented his place as manager McCabe's number 1 defensive option. Simon Waters was exhausted at the end of week 5, and he is rested today. In comes Josh Babcock to partner A.D. Webb in the midfield. Babcock has been in and out of the team, and so far he hasn't really been able to get a consistency in his performances. He had a bit of a shocker his last time out against Hardley Athletic in week 4, and will need to turn in a better showing today if he's to have any chance of becoming a first team regular. A.D. Webb has played every game so far this season for the Smoke, registering 3 goals and 3 assists in the league. There were high hopes for Webb when he completed his blockbuster transfer from Dave Brown's boys at the beginning of the season, and he has not disappointed thus far. And manager McCabe sticks with the strike force of Keogh and Conrad. Keogh, surprisingly, is still yet to open his goal scoring account, despite some good performances. When club captain Kai Henry Conrad was asked this week if he likes playing with Keogh, he replied he loves it. He said Keogh has pace, strength, and most importantly is well hard. And that allows Conrad to score goals and trash talk hard men he otherwise wouldn't without Keogh's backing. The now familiar 1-2-2 of Up in Smoke relies on their front 2 outnumbering and overwhelming their opponent, and a lot of responsibility falls on Webby in the middle of the park to get service to his forwards and stifle their opponent's passing game.
Thanks, Gavin. And how about the home team, Kingan's Kippers?
Well, Dave, they say if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But for manager Rob, it seems like it very much is broke and he needs to fix it. It looks like he's going away from his usual 1-1-3 formation today, trying something new, and why not? Tim Parker is back in goal for the Kippers. He's conceded an incredible 14 goals in 3 league appearances. Fucking hell, let that sink in. Dave Pearce hasn't played too badly so far this season in my book, despite the league high number of goals the Kippers have conceded. I think he sometimes falls victim to the Kippers' reckless attacking style of play and gets isolated a lot. He plays again at centre-back today, facing his former Regis teammates Keogh and Conrad of the Smoke. A formidable 2-man midfield of Craig Fulham and Luke Mortimer is on the team sheet for the first time this season. It seems that manager Rob has plopped his 2 biggest eggs into the midfield basket today. He'll hope these 2 can control the midfield against Webby, and he'll hope that the Kippers can still pose a threat up top. With Watkins Snaith suspended for picking up a 3rd yellow card of the season in the Kippers' last match against Dave Brown's boys, David Salah and Danny Derrick start as a front 2. Captain Derrick has scored twice in the league so far this season, with Salah yet to get off the mark. I think the changes manager Rob has made today will bring a little more balance to the team, in that they won't be trying to win this one with strength in numbers up front. It's a strong midfield, and I think that will work in their favour. But I don't have much faith in the finishing of David Salah, and I think this formation puts some pressure on Danny Derrick to perform. A crucial game for both clubs. They would have been hoping for the appointment of an eagle-eyed, fair and honourable referee, but instead today's proceedings will be overseen by moral blank and legendary cunt Tony Threlfall. Let's hope his toxic blend of incompetence and narcissism doesn't affect today's results. He'll be up in smoke to kick off. Kippers captain Danny Derrick won the coin toss, and as he does whenever possible, he elected to attack the country end in the second half. And we're underway here at Nestor Memorial Ground. Kippers in their pink and yellow with turquoise flames, up in smoke in their change uniform today of black with purple and pink trim. Yeah, that smoke away kit looks well nice, doesn't it, Dave? Kippers home kit is a classic for a reason too. Where have turquoise flames not looked fresh, funky and fly, eh? Both these clubs are of course joint second in the CCSFF in terms of worldwide memorabilia sales, despite their slow starts to the season. Good pressure from the Kippers, and Webb is harassed into squaring the ball to Babcock. Babcock is under pressure from Fulham and Salah, and he loses control in it. Looks like Salah will be able to take over possession inside the Kippers' half. He does so heading towards his near sideline. And Salah tries a long pass back to his goalkeeper Parker. Oh, but he hasn't accounted for Conrad. Conrad can intercept the pass. Pearce is caught unawares. Parker's in no man's land. Conrad is round the keeper, and it's the opening goal for the visitors. David Salah completely misjudged the situation and served the chance on a platter to Conrad. Yeah, I don't know what Dave Salah was thinking there, Dave. I can only assume he didn't see Conrad. The long pass back, didn't have enough welly behind it, and Conrad saw it coming early. Credit to the striker, he reacted quickly, showed good composure around to help with Parker, and finished coolly. Nightmare start for Salah and the Kippers though. There's 10 minutes played, and the score here at Nestor Memorial Ground is Kingan's Kippers 0, Up in Smoke FC 1. Kehoe knocks it down into the path of Webb. This Up in Smoke attack here is gaining momentum now. Webb's first touch is excellent. He evades the flailing leg of Fulham, and he looks for the run of Conrad, who's bursting into the Kippers box. Pearce is with him. Oh, and Conrad flamboyantly goes to ground, and it's a penalty! Tony Threlfall points to the spot. Chris Pearce can't believe it! That was surely a dive, Dave. Olympic level. Tuck into pipe with 2 full rotations. Full marks from the Scouse judge. Tony's got to be having a laugh, hasn't he? It would appear not. Will be a penalty to Up in Smoke, but it's also a yellow card for Dave Pearce, the man who conceded the penalty. The man who won the penalty, Henry Conrad of Up in Smoke, is still rolling around in seeming agony in the Kippers penalty area. Kippers captain Danny Derrick and bigger boy Craig Fulham are confronting referee Threlfall now. They, like the entire country inn, stand behind them are livid. Derrick and Fulham tower over Threlfall, and the referee doesn't like that. Oh, in fact, the referee goes down here. Tony Threlfall throws himself to the floor. I don't think Derrick or Fulham came into contact with him. No, they didn't, Dave. I don't know what that tosser Threlfall was trying to do. Beat Conrad in a diving competition? Look at him acting like he's hurt. The judge awards a score of... Oh no, Tony, you fucking man-child. You are the judge. Get up. It looks like that's exactly what players from both teams are telling referee Threlfall now. As a crowd of players begins to gather in the Kippers penalty area. Smoke striker Henry Conrad is still on the turf, but he's transitioned from rolling and grasping his ankle into an almost trance-like state, whereby his right leg seems to be pulsating in pain. It's getting ridiculous, Dave. Look, Threlfall's waving to the medics as if he needs attention. And here come the medics. Perhaps referee Threlfall genuinely was injured somehow in that series of events, but it's hard to see how. Certainly nothing the magic sponge won't heal, I'm sure. It's Threlfall's mum who needed the sponge 47 years ago. I don't know if that was invented back then. Now the boos are ringing around Nestor Memorial Ground. I'm not sure whether the home fans are more angry with Conrad or Threlfall, but it's safe to say neither of them should expect to phlegm 3 pints of beer after the match in this village. Conrad has finally hobbled to his feet now. Yeah, he saw Webby and Kehoe start talking about who's taking the penalty, and all of a sudden his leg feels better. As referee Frofel is now getting to his feet with a little assistance too. He still has his yellow card in his hand, and he's waving it at the Kippers hard men, Derek and Fulham now. I believe that's 3 Kippers he's cautioned in this bizarre last minute. He has also, perhaps more importantly, awarded a penalty to Up in Smoke, which gives them a chance to take a 2-0 lead in this first half. Well, we've watched replays of the lead-up to the penalty kick from many angles at this point, and all the evidence points to the Smoke striker Henry Conrad having cheated a penalty out of referee Tony Throful, which Conrad will now take. The Neston crowd are incensed, and we've had to wait a few minutes for stewards to clear debris from the pitch thrown by outraged Kingan supporters. But we do appear now to be ready for this kick. It's Conrad of Up in Smoke versus Parker of Kingan's Kippers. Conrad places the ball on the spot and takes his position, his hands on his hips. Parker looms ominously in the centre of his goal, somewhat Frankenstein-esque. The referee blows the whistle, and here goes Conrad. He slows his run up and tries to dink up the centre, but Parker hasn't moved. Oh, incredible! Tim Parker has not only saved the penalty, but he's done it in sub-style. I only see that once before, Dave, but I believe that's what you call a scorpion kick save. Conrad thought he'd get Parker to dive one way or the other, and when he didn't budge, the chip was always going to be a bad idea. But it was too late for him by then. His team effort was emphatically rejected. What agility from the big man with the gloves. What a save. The score remains Kingan's Kippers 0, Up in Smoke FC 1. Webb is pressured by Mortimer, but that's a lovely piece of skill from Webb to create some space. And he's now able to send a pass out to the left side in search of the run of Kehoe. Kehoe is able to control. Fulham is scrambling over to that side for the Kippers to try and deal with the threat. Kehoe can cross though, looking for Conrad, but Pearce gets his head to the ball first. A solid clearance there. Yeah, that's good defending for Pearce. Kehoe and Conrad unable to link up once again. The headed clearance from Pearce finds his teammate Luke Mortimer, and the Kippers may have a chance to launch a counter-attack here. Mortimer goes shoulder to shoulder with Babcock, and he weathers the challenge, and now he has some space in front of him. Salah ahead to his left and Derek ahead to his right. Craig Fulham is also sprinting to try and catch up with the attack. Mortimer is approaching the halfway line, and now he plays a through ball for Derek to chase. Derek is onside. Moulton is struggling to catch him. This is a real chance. Paradise comes off his line. Oh, and Derek shoots across him, and it's a good save from Paradise. Quality save, Dave. Quality. Kippers were fast as fuck from one end to another there, and I thought they were going to see the net bulge from Danny Derrick, but good old JP had other ideas. He was quick off his line to close the angles, and he stopped the shot with a firm left hand. His beggar box clobber didn't stifle his goalkeeping there. It rolls through to the Kippers centre-back Pearce, who has time to pick his pass, and he finds Mortimer a few feet inside his own half. He's under pressure from Babcock. Mortimer is able to turn away from Babcock though, towards the right side. Fulham makes a run ahead of him up the middle, but Mortimer keeps possession. Babcock is nipping at his heels, and now Webb comes across too. Mortimer ships it up the right sideline now though, looking for Danny Derrick. He will have his work cut out to reach this ball before it crosses the sideline, but he's lightening up the wing. Derrick does keep it in. He's deep in the Smoke's half on the right side. Shane Moulton of the Smoke is going to have to come over to challenge the Kippers captain. Derrick rolls it inside to Mortimer on the edge of the box. Is he going to shoot? No. He turns it inside instead to Fulham! It's the equalizer! A fierce right-footed shot for the bigger boy. Leaves Up in Smoke goalkeeper Jason Paradise well beaten. And the Kippers have finally drawn level. Great finish to a great passing move there. The Kippers were quick and incisive once again, and this time it's paid off for them. Good work from Mortimer initially to set Double D free up the right wing. Danny done well to keep it in and pick a pass. Unselfish from Mortimer. And Fulham, who'd sprinted a long way to join the attack, arrived right on time to power it home from just outside the area. Yeah, so Kippers are keen to get on with the action. Mortimer grabs the ball out of Jason Paradise's goal and rushes it back to the centre circle. We've still got about 9 minutes to play. The score is Kingan's Kippers 1, Up in Smoke 1. And it's a clumsy touch from Salah, and he gives it away to Moulton of the Smoke.
Oh, Moulton is almost just as clumsy with his clearance though, spaffing it straight out of play without really getting the ball upfield. It has been rather painful to watch the Salah-Moulton matchup at times today. The two worst outfield players have inconveniently been in close quarters for much of the game, leading to some ugly play. Yeah, it hasn't been pretty from them two today. So throw into the Kippers inside the Smokes half though, and we're into the final minute. Yes, perhaps the home team can fashion one final chance here. Derek instructs Salah to take the throw. It's thrown back into play from Salah to Mortimer, who's challenged by Webb. Oh, but it's a lovely turn from Mortimer to evade the challenge, and he moves infield now. Fulham drifts to this right side to offer a wide option, but Mortimer threads it up the centre instead towards Derek. Danny Derek controls his back to goal. He's on the edge of the box. Moulton of the Smoke is close by, jostling with Derek. The Kippers striker gives him the slip though, and advances into the box. Moulton tries to regain position. Derek shapes the shoot, but he fakes the shot and lays it back instead to Mortimer! 2-1! What drama here! Jiminy Chillickers, Dave! He's only got a dead alley! Up in Smoke have looked a little tired in the last 10 minutes, whereas the Kickers have looked increasingly hungry. They kept going to the very end, and it's a lapse of defensive concentration to leave the red of Mortimer unattended. But Derek's done well, and Mortimer's capitalised ruthlessly. It's a great goal, and a mighty important one, as you might be able to tell from the reaction of the country in stand. Yes, as we mentioned earlier, it's a village full of fanatics, and the nuttiest, wackiest, most likely to drink their own piss or murder a man in cold blood in the name of Kingan's Kippers are all located behind that goal, and what a moment for them. Surely the Kippers have finally delivered a first win of the season for these fans. I imagine it must feel much like the great musician Lionel Richie once said, "Ooh, what a feeling, like dancing on the ceiling." That's probably what it feels like. Well, that doesn't really seem like a believable song lyric to me, Dave, but I'll take your word for it. And I think I know what you're saying. You can see in the fans and in the players a sense of euphoria. You can tell it means a lot to them to get what will surely be a first league win in the season. Yes, it will be. Referee Tony Frelfo has decided there isn't time to restart the match. And that cracking strike from Luke Mortimer of Kingan's Kippers is in fact the final and decisive touch of the ball. Joy and relief gush out of Nestor Memorial Ground from the village people. But the travelling up in Smoke support will feel gutted to have led for much of this game and been denied with the final kick. Gavin, how did you see the game? And if you don't mind, I'd love to hear your man of the match. It was a tight game, Dave. Fiercely contested, and there was very little to separate the teams. Up in Smoke weren't quite able to get Webby linking up with the front two as often as they would have liked, and although Webby's hardly put a foot wrong in that game, the Kippers midfield pairing of Mortimer and Fulham outplayed Babcock and Webb with the Smoke, and I think that was eventually a telling factor. Part of me thinks I could flip a coin between Mortimer and Fulham for man of the match, but then again, Mortimer assisted the first goal as well as scoring the all-important last-minute winner. Today, I've got to give it to Luke Mortimer of Kingan's Kippers. He's my man of the match, Dave. Thank you, Gavin. Well, Kingan's Kippers register their first league win of the season to draw level on points with their opponents today up in Smoke FC and remain within touch of mid-table. Next week, week 7 of league play, will mark the halfway point of the season, in which Up in Smoke will play host to Box Badgers and Kingan's Kippers will visit Grove Road allotments to face Jaipur Takeaway. We'll hope to see you in week 7. But until then, from my colleague Gavin Gooseberry, it's goodbye. Cheers, Anne. And from myself, Dave Mattingly, it's so long until next time.